We're still talking about the Ukraine, NATO, Russia war. Vladimir Putin was at Alaska. The Russian president met with Donald Trump on the way forward on the peace in the raging war. Then Donald Trump went and invited Zelensky to come to a meeting. But the European leaders, in their own wisdom, felt that they have it as a moral obligation to come with President Zelensky to a meeting with Donald Trump. From this action of the European leaders, you will now see who is instigating the war, who does not want the war to end. Vladimir Putin came alone. He never invited any other leader to come with him. The European leader, are they telling us that Zelensky has no brain to talk for himself, to defend Ukraine interests, that they are only, Zelensky is only a stooge to them, that they are the remote controlling what is happening in this war. This is all what it boils down to. That this war is not a war between Russia and Ukraine. Even the NATO Secretary General was at the meeting, which proves that it is not a war between NATO, Ukraine and Russia, but a fight and a proxy war between NATO, the European Union, and some other countries of interest, all fighting the Russian Federation. Then this comes to the point, why the war? What triggered the war? Some people say Russia rolled their tank into Ukraine. Yes, they did. But why? When the Soviet Union collapsed, in which Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, there was a gentleman agreement between the leaders then that NATO will not expand and take those countries that were former Soviet Union into their own sphere. But the European Union, the NATO, all of them broke that agreement. They expanded into Lithuania and other countries bordering Russia. So, Russia border became close as the NATO war machine moved closely towards the Russian border. Poland is very close to Russia and was a member of the former Soviet Union. Lithuania was a former member of the former Soviet Union and other countries. The NATO stationed their weapons, their nuclear weapons and missiles, and warplanes and strategic bombers in those countries, all targeting Russia. And when NATO wanted to come close to Ukraine, they wanted to take over Ukraine, Russia resisted it. Putin, when he came into power, has been warning us that Ukraine is the last thing he will ever allow